Hey everyone. When you hop on, say hi. I'm early as usual. Hi Rosie. Welcome. Give it a couple of minutes for everybody to catch up with us. Hi Linda. Hi Deb. Welcome. Give it another minute and then we're going to get started. Hi Gina Marie. Hi Sherry. Welcome. Okay, it's 8 o'clock. I'm going to flip the camera down, go through my business part, and then we're going to get started. I promise it won't be long. Okay. If you're not working with a current demonstrator and would like to have a copy of the catalog, let me know. I will send one to you. Starting tomorrow, there will be a sale on the suites. You buy one, you get one free. If you purchase, say, one is, say, $100 and one is $75, the $75 suite will be half off. It would be the lower price. Now, you don't have to buy a suite. Hi, Julie, welcome. You don't have to buy a suite. You can buy anything in a suite and it would be half off. But you got to watch, because if you say you buy packs of designer series paper, okay, they are like $12.50, I think, or I'm not sure if they're up, if they came up in price. I'll have to look at my book. That tells you how many I ordered so far. But if you say you buy a couple different packs of DSP and say they're $15, okay, and you buy something like, say, gems or whatever in a suite, and they're $7 or $8, that item will be half off. Okay. If you want, there's 27 suites, and if you want to see the suites, you can go to the customer page and it'll say suites. I have it printed out here so you can see. This is from just the home page on Stampin' Up, okay, where you would sign in. And an online exclusive, and there's suites. The suites will tell you everything that's in online and the suites. There are 27 suites you can choose from. And 27 of them. So you can go on there, click on the suites, and you can see and do whatever you want to do. You want to order one, two. If you order two suites, the lower suite would be half off. Okay. Now we're going to get started. I made this one here tonight. I made all these right before I got started, except for the 3D project. I made that yesterday. But these I just made like between 4 and 5. So, but this is one. I'm going to make two. One for birthday and one for Father's Day. Okay. This is using a 3x3 cherry cobbler and a 2 3/4 of the DSP, and that is from the Timeless Plaid. Okay. This is a 4x4. You're going to put it on your trimmer and you're going to cut right on the line. You're going to make sure it's in the track. Let me see. I have a 3x3 here. Well, it might be a little bigger. But you're going to take your 4x4 and you're going to put this tip here in the track and this one here, and then you would cut it in half. And that's what you get these here, okay? I think on my next one, I don't think I cut it, so you'll see what I mean. And then this is the same DSP, I just made it bigger, and you're going to put them on top of them. So I'm going to put these down a while. So these are 3/4 inch. I'm going to put it on the plaid side. These are 3 3/4 inch squares, and they are cut the same way. So you just want to line it up to give the border all around. And you'll see the difference in the white space when I use these because it's a smaller space. These would be good on our note cards. Okay, so this is going to go up here, and then this one will go down in this corner here. So you see I only have a small space to write, and this happy birthday won't be small enough. So I took the happy birthday from Round We Go, and I'm going to stamp in there. I'm going to lay these down first. My card base is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, and it's basic white. Forgot to tell you that. I hope this goes better than my Friday's video with the card. The hinge. Okay, so we have that there. I'm going to get my cherry cobbler. And I am going to take my happy birthday. Whoop, upside down. And that's just going to go right in the middle. Like so. And I didn't get that dark. So, get your marker out. Hi, Tina. Welcome. And I am just going to draw. I don't like our new markers. The pointy pen, it's not as pointy as the other ones. And then I'm going to take my little flower. And I am just going to stamp it there. That is my first card. Very simple, very easy. And I'm going to take my flower And I'm just going to come down this side here. Like so. Then you have card number 1. Card number 2. And this is my Father's Day card. I don't make too many of them. Our father passed away when, about 30 some years ago, I guess, because he passed away after I got my job, and I worked for 32 years, so maybe longer. Okay. 4x4. You're going to put the tip in here and a tip in here. And cut. Do the same thing to your DSP. Tip in a corner, tip in a corner. Okay? Card base is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. Thank you for sharing. 1987. Okay, so that's more than 30 some years, huh? 2025. 32 years. I can't think of that right in my head right now. Okay, I'm just gonna put this down. And this one. Okay, and the same thing. You could do the opposite way. You could put it this way and this way. And then your Happy Father's Day is going to go. This is from the Affirma Greetings for All packet. 38 years. Yeah, that would be right, because it's been 38 years since I quit, since I retired. Or I'm sorry, 6 years since I retired. It'll be 7 years this year. Yeah, 7 years this year. And it wasn't long after I started working he had passed. You're right, Linda. I knew you'd know. Okay. So, gonna put that there. You can just, if you just want to leave this one on, you can just leave this one on and decorate your bottom. Like so. And this is just going to get glued in here. Like so. And I am going to use this little screen looking thing for the ends. And I am going to do that in Old Olive. like so. That would be my, and then I didn't cut a piece of the DSP to put inside, but I would put a piece of DSP inside there. So that's number 2. Number 3 will be this card here. This is in Pretty in Pink. I am going to do peach pie. This is using Spotlight on Nature. I'm using this part here, the leaf. I'm using Thanks. And I'm using one of these center circles, the second one from the center. I cut one of each of them out. They're the same size. So I put one on here and one on here. I took a 1 3/4 inch circle for vellum, and that'll get mounted onto that. Okay, let me get this out of the way. Peach pie, 8.5 by 5.5, and we're gonna score that in half. Okay. Then for the inside, you need a 4 by 5 1/4 and a 3 3/4 by 5. That'll get laid in the middle. But before we do that, we're going to stamp. I can put the black one in. That's basic black. Okay. And this one here is 3 1/4 by 5.5. That'll get laid on top here. And then this is 3 by 5.5. That'll go there. And this is 3 3/4 by 5. So I'm going to set this aside because we're going to be stamping these with the leaf and peach pie. Oh, and the peach pie ribbon. I made a bow already. Now to find my scratch paper here. We'll do the inside first. And I'm just going to stamp that like that. And like that. It still gives you room to write. And then we're going to stamp all over this one. Like so. And then before we put the ink away, I am going to bring in my front. And I'm going to use this little looks like dirt, but it's little dots. Okay. And I'm going to stamp on each side of my front. And I'm going to do 2 lines. And I'm just going down the sides here. I'm not worried about how far I go in. I just want to make sure the edge is covered. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Now take my one that goes on the front and I'll put it here to make sure I have enough covered, okay? Because that's going to get laid right on top there with this piece, okay? So we can close this up and we'll put the inside in. Okay. And we're going to glue this down onto the black. And see, there's a little bit over edge. I'm just going to take and cut that off. And then we're going to put it on the front. And it goes to the edge and the bottom. You want to make sure you have the same amount on each side. Okay, then we bring our saying in. We're going to glue the vellum down. I'm going to put that there. That's a little empty spot there. And we're going to pop the greeting up. And that's going to go right on top of the vellum. And then get a glue dot for the bow. I mentioned on Friday that after June 20th, I will only be doing live videos. I will not be posting on Facebook. What I'll do is download them from YouTube to Facebook. I'm having too much problems with the program that I am using. Either it's buffering or I get a box saying I need to stop and start and then it would kick me off. So I am just going to be doing YouTube videos and downloading that to my Stampin' Hut Facebook business page. So that's after June 20th. I'll remind everybody when I go ahead and do it. Okay, that is my last card. Now we're going to do the 3D project. And it is a calendar with a post-it note easel card. I did not decorate it. If I would give this to somebody, I would decorate here, and then I would make sure if it's like an image or anything, I would make sure it would be upside down, because then when they open it, they would be able, whoever gets it would be able to see it from the outside the right way. Flowers doesn't really matter depending on what type of flower. Something like this flower, you would want to turn it upside down and stamped on there. But if you have it on your desk, you really don't see the back. Okay? But I'm going to show you how I made that. And I found a yellow post-it note to go with the yellow paper. So, I just lightened my light here. Okay. This is using the Boku Designer Series paper, the 6x6. And these calendars are 2026. I went ahead and ordered them a while because I do my Christmas gift giving. Last year I did it where you can order the whole kit of everything that I have done. If you're local, you can come and shop. But yeah, so that's down the road. 4 1/4 by 11. You're going to score it at 2 3/4, 5 1/2. Okay, so we're going to fold that right on the score lines, and you're going to score them the same way. So you get something like that. Okay. 2 pieces of Designer Series paper. They're 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to put this one in the middle here, underneath, and this one goes right on top. And what I did was I centered this and I scored through both sheets so that I get that score line, and when I go to put it on, it'll fold easily. So I'm going to put the top on now. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to line it up with that score line. Like so. Got glue on it. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to refold that. And then you have your DSP on, and it's scored. It's not tore or anything like that. Then we're going to put this one on the inside. And I'm using the back side. I did not use the same side, so I wanted to mix it up. Okay. Then the calendar, the measurements are 2 1/2 by 3 1/4. And the calendar is going to go on there. Okay, so let's put that on. I put sticky tear and tape on too. To reinforce it, because you can always, when the year's over, of course the last one will stay, but you can still put on top of your December one because it'll be pretty well sticky, and you don't want to take it off. You might tear your cardstock. And you don't want to tear that. So we're going to put it in here, and we're going to center it the best that you can. Okay, that will get laid here. Very little margin here. Okay, you have more on the sides than you do at the top and bottom, but you want to make sure that is in the middle, same on each side. We're going to put tear and tape on that one. This one here is 3 1/4 inch square, and that will hold my Post-it note. Now I took off, these are the real sticky ones, And I took the back off of this and I put tear and tape on it. So it gets tear and tape at the bottom, middle, and top, plus it's sticky in the middle here. I'm just trying to get the paper off the tear and tape. And you're going to center it up. Wait a minute. Before I did that, I went and got this. This punch is retired, but it has a corner rounder in it. And I'm going to round 2 corners. And the reason why I did that is because the tablets, the post-it notes are rounded. So then now we're going to center that. That's a little off over here, but that's okay. So, gonna put tear and tape on here. You don't have to use tear and tape, you just want something that's strong. The liquid glue would hold it. Your Snail Plus would be good. I don't have Snail Plus. I don't care for it. It keeps tearing my paper, and they tell you to do it soft. I do it soft, and it still eats my paper. I use the Tomo glue all the time. That's my go-to glue. Okay, so now we're going to put this about a 1/4 of an inch from the bottom, and I'm lining it up towards this, make sure it's even on this side. Okay, and then we're going to put the calendar on. My great grandkids, their last day of school is Thursday. They get out at 1 o'clock on Thursday. My oldest one, Avie, the one that's deaf, she's done. She was done Friday last week. Okay, and this goes up here. I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to lay it down here. Looks good. And there you have your easel, calendar, and post-it note. And like I said, if you want to decorate that, I'm not going to decorate these yet, but if you want to decorate, you could decorate something on the back here. But I didn't know what I wanted to put on mine yet, so I didn't decorate them. Just put that back so I don't lose it. Here, get my mess, and I'll bring everything back out. I dropped my cover to my pick. Okay, so here's the cards. And the calendar holder. There you go. All right, guys. guys, that's all I have for you tonight. Like I said, I created all this today. I didn't start till probably 4:30, so I was on a roll. Usually it takes me longer than that to figure out what I was going to do. But I hope you enjoyed it tonight. I enjoy having you here watching me. So if you have any questions, just leave me a message here, or you can email me at dkl333@comcast.net. And like I said, the sweets are on sale. Buy one, get one. If you're one of my customers, just go to the customers page and hit sweets, and it'll show you all 27 of them. But remember, whatever you order, the lowest price is going to be half off. Okay? So if you're going to order 2 sweets and then order something cheaper, then your cheaper one's going to be half off. Okay? And then you would pay full price for your sweets. Just to give you a heads up. And it doesn't matter what you buy in the sweets. If you don't want the whole sweet, you can buy the stamp set and the dies separately. And you can do that whatever you want. You can, but remember the lowest price is half off. And that's for the whole month of June. Okay, it starts tomorrow. So, all right, guys. I want to say thank you for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. And I will be back Wednesday for Scrapbooking Wednesday. I have a couple ideas in my head. Whether or not that's the ones I go with, we'll see. So, have a great rest of the day, night, I guess. It's what, 8:35. And have a great week. I'll see you back here on Wednesday, 8 o'clock.